Come into the room, come into the room, come into the room, come into the room. Best YouTube rapper in the game. Bars wise, not like total package, but bars. I got some more bars for you for come into the room. Come into the room, come into the room, come into the room, come into the room. Used to fuck with Skype, now we fuck with Zoom. Come in with the mop, leave with the broom. Used to make them sweat, now I make them swoon. Used to give them wop, now I give them poon. Hey! Come on now. Come on now. And you know what's so funny? Well, I mean, for me. But what's so great is bars! Thank you, Alexi. Bars! Stop sleeping on me. Stop sleeping on me. All right, go ahead and check out my previous videos. I made some rap videos over the quarantine because that's my prerogative. All right, I made some hip hop. I don't know. I mean, it could be spoken word, but I like to put it to a hip hop beat. You know what I'm saying? I love hip hop. I love hip hop. And, you know, just to let you guys in on something a little more personal, right? My father, my actual bio deadbeat father, bio deadbeat dad, he was a rapper in his heyday. Can you believe it? He was a rapper. You know, like a up and coming underground rapper, if you will, before there was an underground. All right. You know, like basically he like rapped all the time and he really wanted to be a rapper. You know. So yeah. All right. I'll give it to you guys one more time. Come into the room, come into the room, come into the room, come into the room. Used to fuck with Skype, now we fuck with Zoom. Come in with a mop, leave with a broom. Used to make them sweat, now I make them swoon. Used to give them wop, now I give them poon. Words cut like a knife, drip like a spoon. Come into the room, come into the room. Hey, okay. You know, I also like a lot of hip hop artists. All right. I write about what I know. All right. I write about what I know. And I know about coming into the room. All right. So come into the room, come into the room. I know, I'm not sensational enough for you, but you know, we do the kiki with a little bit of education over here. That's how we do it. All right. And we can kiki. But we don't bully, right? And that's my number one rule in my classroom. I teach theater, right? It's not tolerated, bullying. It's not tolerated. So come into the room. I am your teacher. Class is in session, all right? Because what I don't do is just repeat stuff that I see. All right, we dissect and we try to apply it to our real lives. All right, so I'm your teacher, DanieSteel. Class is in session. Let's begin. Let's talk about, and you know, before I do begin, I want to reiterate bars. Thank you, Aduku. Thank you. I hope I'm saying your name right, Aduku. Bars. You're not gonna find those bars nowhere else on YouTube. That's a promise. That's a promise. You're not going to find it. Find it. I'm writing Meg the Stallion bars for YouTube. Okay? All right? I might even be one of her ghostwriters. Y'all don't know. Right? Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know what I do. Y'all don't know where I be. Right? I might just be one of her ghostwriters. Right? Starved for attention. Speaking of people around Meg, starved for attention. Like, is everyone around Meg the Stallion? Oh my God, I'm going to sneeze. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. Bad allergies. Jesus Christ. All right. Well, you guys were never supposed to see that. So, okay. Bars like Meg Thee Stallion, okay? Why does everyone around Meg Thee Stallion try to use Meg Thee Stallion? And it's because, again, she's not as well protected yet as she deserves and needs to be in this industry. So people think they can touch her. And when people think they can touch you, amen. When people think they can touch you, there's a lot of misunderstandings, right? I think people are taking advantage of her at a young age. You know, they want to present this image of her like everything is her fault, and she doesn't have this like family support system. Not saying she doesn't have family support system, but she doesn't have a large, powerful, connected one to come in and refute a lot of the negativity that's been coming in about her, which I don't like. Okay, this woman was assaulted. She was shot. She was shot. All right. That bruise that she had, I don't know where y'all think a bruise like that would come from. A mark like that on your foot will come from. I mean, that was atrocious. Very scary. You could see, as grandma would say, into the meat, right? Right? Then when grandma was telling stories growing up, she's always like, and then something happened to somebody, and you could see into the meat, the white meat. All right. You can see into the white meat of her body. What more do you need? What more do you need? You know, we saw the video, and they're just trying to take advantage of the fact that people don't go as hard for Megan as they should. Okay. So, you know, but Meg's one of the only rappers that I really do know about, just to be honest. I know there's a lot of stuff going on right now with one of the Lils. Lil, you know, I think there might have been a taking of a life regarding one of the Lils. Lil CC, Lil Pump, Lil Fizzle, Lil Pizzle, Lil Pimp. Lil Squeegee. I don't know these Lils, you know? There's always like some Lil, some guy with crazy hair colors, and you know, I don't know about them. So I'm not gonna be able to speak about them. Okay, but I will talk about bigger names. Okay, Meg Thee Stallion, you know, she's one of my faves, and we need to do everything we can to protect Meg Thee Stallion. It's so sad to hear Black women saying they don't believe Meg Thee Stallion. I mean, what do you believe? Then who do you believe? That's crazy to me. Oh, thank you, Aduku. Oh my God, I love Nikki. Get out of here. I love Nikki. She is the queen. I'm so happy for her right now with her baby. Oh my God. She has it all, baby. She has it all. You know, people, you know, they have what they want to say about her husband, but you know, it is what it is. She's a businesswoman. She's a smart woman, and she moves accordingly. For, you know, what the business that she's in and what she's doing. You know, she's not an activist. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to adjust your expectations of people accordingly. You know what I'm saying? All right. So anyways, let's get into what I want to start talking about. So they went hard at Keke. Unsurprisingly, the next day, nobody was talking about it. Everybody was loving her and liking her, you know what I'm saying? But they went hard at Keke. And here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. Welcome if you're here. Thank you for the likes. Appreciate it. Subscribe, please. Trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. There might be a twerk in there for you at 5,000 subscribers. The faster we get to 5,000 subscribers, the faster I'll have to twerk. All right? I'm not making any promises here. But like I said, I am a doppelganger Meg Thee Stallion if she were, you know, old and went to white schools her whole life. Okay, so you might get a twerk in there. All right, I've been practicing. I think it's everyone's right to twerk. People used to be like, you're gonna get on the screen and twerk. Yeah, I might just do that if I figure it out. If I figure it out, it's people. Don't make no mistake about it. All right, I'm at an intermediate level of twerking. All right, so that's what you would get. All right, there are no knees. There are no knees involved. All right. I use assistance. I have assistance bars. All right, because I got bad hips. All right, but yeah, if you don't mind all of that, there might be a twerk in there for you. 5,000 subs. Help me get to it. Subscribe, please, and thank you. Really appreciate it. Good looking out. Good looking out. Oh Lord, they're gonna hold me to the twerk. They're gonna hold me to the twerk. Okay, so let's get to 5,000 subscribers. We get to it tomorrow, baby. I'll be up there. You know? All right? You got to isolate. Because sometimes I'm like, isolate what? You know? I'll figure it out. I'm like, your butt? You know? Your booty? Okay, so Keke Palmer was talking about, food stamps, EBT, right? And this is a sensitive subject for a lot of people. One, I think a lot of people assume that when you talk about government assistance and you talk about EBT cards and food stamps, you're thinking about Black people, poor people. But there's a lot of people that use EBT assistance, right? There's disabled people who need this food assistance every month because they can't work the way other people can. Right. So, and there's, of course, people of all races and ethnicities use EBT. Right. So Keke Palmer said, and you know what? I'm going to go to her IG. Okay. Keke Palmer tweeted, imagine if your EBT card could only work on healthy items. And then like eyes, like looking eyes, right? Imagine if your EBT card and so if you don't have any poor friends and have never experienced poverty, you might not even know what she's talking about. If struggling to buy food, right? You might not even know what she's talking about, right? So what is an EBT card? An EBT card is a card that the government gives to people who have a hard time, paying their bills, supporting their family. They need a little more assistance, and the government helps by providing them with this card so that they can go into stores and buy groceries, right? So what they're not going to do, right? The government, what the government says, what we're not going to do is give you cash money. We're not going to do that. And that has been instilled at least since the 80s, I believe, with the food stamps system. And the food stamps were these like brown dollars, basically. And they were in a pamphlet. And yes, Mama taught me good. Yes, she did it with the stamps. Yes, absolutely. One thing about me is I don't look like what I've been through. And so people tend to have a harder time believing. All you got to do is be around me for like 5 minutes. And you'll understand. But, people have a hard time understanding that I grew up in abject poverty. And so, so these food stamps, okay, were these booklets with like brown dollar bills. It reminded me of something that they would give you like during the Great Depression, okay? And like people would sell the food stamp books for cash back in the day. And so they would sell 100 food stamps to somebody for $40. You see what I'm saying? So they started using the EBT card so that you could prevent a lot more of that type of behavior. Because I like I said, I grew up on that. So people can miss me. There's a lot of loud voices that don't even know what the hell that experience is like. You can miss me with the, I can't critique that experience. People should not have been selling their food stamps to people for cash money. So yeah, so Kiki Palmer said, imagine if your EBT card could only work on healthy items, right? And if you look at it, I mean, when I saw it, I actually thought that she had worded it differently, right? So then I'm like, oh, okay, so this is how she actually worded it. Imagine if your EBT card could only work on healthy items, right? And it's like, people got offended because they're like, why do people police everything that poor people do? And it was a lot of, handicapped people and Black people as well, and people of color that were like greatly offended, right, by what she said, because it seemed to lack awareness from her of her position compared in society, right, socioeconomically, certainly, compared to a lot of other people who are really struggling and hurting to get by right now during this pandemic, right? And then somebody went to Google and they were like, yeah, you're worth seven. Kiki was going back and forth. Y'all know Kiki. Y'all know Kiki, right? She's not going back down. And she was not, people were like apologizing. She was like, well, she said, I made a broader statement about this on my Instagram. Okay. So let's read what she said on her Instagram. The purple stamps, right? When you had them purple stamps, it's like, I'm gonna get a loaf of bread. I'm gonna get something to drink. I'm gonna get some, right? Might go to the meat department, but they would have clear signs being like, y'all can't buy this, right? So like no hot food. I think that might have changed, but even in my early 20s, I worked in grocery stores and people with EBT cards could not buy hot food, right? And so you really start to feel like you're kind of relegated to only being able to purchase one type of food, which is processed food, right? People say junk food, but I'll say processed foods, right? Some guy on Twitter was like, food. And if you say food is bad, then you're just being classist. And I'm like, relax. What we don't need, I grew up, like I said, in abject poverty. So it is what it is. I don't have $1 million net worth right now, baby. All right. With all that student loan, that student loan debt, heard of it? Heard of student loan? Right? The way they're trying to come after me. Okay. It's tough. They make it very hard to escape poverty, period. There's always something set in place to keep you down, right? But the bottom line is we also don't need to be coddling people. This is their life, and they understand that. They don't need people who don't know anything about it being like, you can eat whatever you want. And just because it's harder to get access to healthier foods when you live in the hood, because the hood is filled with food deserts, right? There's no access to supermarkets to healthy foods. When I was growing up, there was no supermarket. No, in the hood, no. I don't know of any hood that has a supermarket. There's corner stores, and some of the corner stores might, sell, fish and fruit and vegetables, but they was always rotten. When I was growing up, they didn't look like no fruit you'd want to touch, and then you would go into a supermarket one day and it was like heaven on earth. It was like, whoa, what's this, right? I used to think that you could eat the food for free because it was sitting out. I swear to God, because they don't do that nowhere place else. They had that fruit and vegetables at the corner store. It was bagged up. Out in the grocery stores in the suburbs, right? They got the fruit and vegetables sits right on out in the open, right? I was like, oh my God. I was like, what a place. Right? I swear to God, I'm not lying to y'all. I did this unknowingly. Like, even I didn't I understood that you couldn't like pick it up and put it in your bag. But I really thought that like they didn't mind if you like, occasionally ate some of the fruit and or candy, right? So when the first year I started um, dating my husband, we were like in this big super grocery store, very nice place, and I saw some fruit, and I was like, or some candy, and I was like, I picked up a piece of candy, like do do do. I thought it was the culture, I thought it was something that's what we do, right? You're in the grocery store, sometimes you see a piece of candy. If I'm buying 50 of them, why I can't eat one? I swear to God, so I was eating this piece of candy. And my husband was like, what are you doing? Right? And I was like, I'm eating candy, And he was like, you can't do that, you know? Um, he also insists that if you take something from somewhere, you put it back exactly where you found it. I'm like, dude, I'm not doing all that. All right. So Kiki says in her Instagram post regarding this, um, okay, Brown Becky said, I wasn't offended. Hi, Brown Becky. Thank you. Thank you for, filling us in a little bit about your thoughts on this conversation, right? I appreciate that. Anyone that has any thoughts, please let me know. I'm happy to read the chat, okay? I wasn't offended either. But people were like, do you know what you've done? And I really felt like, and Kiki said, she was like, I know people don't like celebrities right now, but like, I'm really just trying to like add to the conversation. You know what I'm saying? I'm really trying to like just be a part of the solution here. And like, you're not, and she was like, I said, I think that all healthy food should be free. That's basically what she explains for why she said, imagine if your EBT card could only work on healthy items. Okay. She says that she said that in response to her previously stating that all healthy items should be free for people who have an EBT card. So at the minimum, right, if you go to a grocery store and you have $150 limit on your EBT card, because it's not a lot per person. It's not a lot, and I spend that in a week by myself, and they'll give you that for like a month. And that's what people like. If you think that people want to like be depending, you know what I'm saying, on someone else for the basics, they don't, but it's the system. The system is messed up. Okay, so anyways, Kiki says, I have been eating extremely healthy lately, and I have been sad about my debit card balance because of it. Healthy food is more, and of course that's a joke, right? I know Wendy Williams will be like, $7? I'm not buying that for $7. Yes, you will, and you'll buy a lot more, and you have bought a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of stuff that like very wealthy people do, to be like, I remember one time when I didn't have this massive amount of money, right? They go back in their memory to like a time when they didn't have it, to be like, oh yeah, I know what that's like. You don't know what it's like. Okay. My life is completely different now than it was when I was a child and when I was in my early 20s. Okay. I mean, literally until a few years ago, it was like, you go to the grocery store and you like, hey, am I even going to be able to get everything? Do I have to put something back? What's a balance? You know what I'm saying? That's what happens when you are starting from nothing, coming from abject poverty, growing up in, these low-income neighborhoods. I grew up in the foster care system. Okay, then you go to college thinking that this is going to be something that can help you. Middle class people complain about the college expenses. It's very expensive for some basic ass shit. College, that's basic. I'm happy to see that a few years back, New York State started opening their SUNY college system up for free for people who I think families make like less than 150, right? Totally free. No excuse at all. If you live in New York to not go to college, they pay your whole ride, including the dorm, right? This is what I'm, to my awareness, and I went to a SUNY school for one of the best, if not the best. Okay. But yeah, I went to a SUNY school for undergrad. And I went to a private school for grad school. Okay. And it's very hard to get even into college when you grow up poor, when you grow up in foster care, you know? So I feel like Keke, remembers a time when she was younger, when she didn't have what she has now. And so she relates to people on that level. And I think that's totally fine. But like, she's not on that level anymore. And so people are offended by her, her seemingly flippant attitude about the topic, because it's hard going to the grocery store and standing in line and worrying that you're not going to be able to pay for everything on the goddamn fucking shit. Try not to curse. The conveyor belt. Nobody should have to experience that. So what Keke is saying is that what she said is all the food should be free if it's healthy, right? And then with the EBT card, if you have $150, you can buy whatever, junk food or processed foods that you want to buy as well. But she's saying, I realized when I started eating super healthy that healthier food items are more expensive. But like I tried to explain to Keke via Twitter, right? It's not say I can't afford to eat healthy. They're not just talking about the price of bananas. Everybody knows you go to Trader Joe's, bananas literally cost like 20 cents. 20 cents for like 5 bananas. The pack of bananas. That's what it costs at Trader Joe's. Bananas, But if you're poor and there's no Trader Joe's around you, how are you going to get to Trader Joe's? All right. Okay. So say somebody once a month can get you to Trader Joe's. Okay. People that go to Trader Joe's every week, at least. You see what I'm saying? So it's an unrealistic expectation. And when people talk about the price of eating healthy, they're not just talking about the price of the fruit, which we know that a lot of healthy food is inexpensive, but getting access to the places that sell healthy food is what is expensive. All right. I know you guys thought that I'd be like, Keke I can't believe she blah, blah, blah. No. We're going to talk about what matters. All right. A lot of low income neighborhoods with Black people and POC in America are filled with food deserts, no access to grocery stores, to farmers markets. But then people want to shame you. I live in a very, just most everyone around me in my personal life, everywhere I go, right? People are like, you need to be fit, you need to be thin, right? On YouTube, people are like, you got fat, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm working on it. I lost 80 pounds twice. The reason I put it back on is because a lot of issues underneath the surface that I didn't work on. So this time around, I decided, let's work on those issues before you start working out, losing the weight again, and then can't deal with stuff and fall back to comfort eating, right? So I'm educating myself a lot into, a lot of things that come into play with losing weight and keeping it off, okay? But in general, I grew up a chubbier kid. I was a chubbier kid, and it wasn't because I was sitting there eating burgers. There wasn't a lot of food when I was growing up. So if I could make a sandwich, a sandwich, sipping on some scissor, sipping on some sip. I swear to God, when I was growing up, like listening to that song, like in the hood, I thought they were talking about syrup. And I was like, why would they drink syrup? Sipping on some scissor. And then I was like, why are they saying it like that? I didn't understand. Go ahead and check out my latest video. It's actually 2 videos ago. Okay, I did a video about speaking and regionalisms and how you can speak up here in your head voice and how you can speak down here in your chest voice and, you know, some other things. So go ahead and check that video out. But yeah, I didn't understand that that wasn't a very Southern accent. When you said that scissor, and I was like, scissor? And then I was like, are you talking about scissors? First, I thought they were talking about scissors, you know? And do you know some people call scissors a scissor? They're like, do you have a scissor? And a lot of New Yorkers do that. Do you have a scissor? A scissor? You mean SZA, the singer? Do I have a scissor? What are you talking about? A pair of scissors? Right? But no, sipping on some scissor is referring to an alcoholic drink with syrup in it. In case you didn't know. Because nobody told me when I was a kid. And I was like, why are they? And I literally thought, I was like, I guess if you would drink enough syrup, like something would happen and you would feel amazing about it, you know? Okay. So she concludes, in any event, imagine if you could get whatever healthy foods you wanted on your EBT card. Like all the healthy food could swipe for free. Pretty much a reward for being healthy, but even more so, giving homes a break that want to eat healthy but can't afford it. It's like, oh, you know, that's nice. It's cute and all, but a lot of people were telling her, like, look, Keke, if you're serious about, you know, doing food activism work, there are activists who have been doing this for years. Reach out to them and work with them so that you can educate yourself so that you're not offending people because you are a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, Keke was Keke and she's like, I do. And I don't believe she should have been apologetic, to be honest, because I personally wasn't offended because I kind of felt like I understood what she was talking about and where she was coming from. I didn't feel offended by it. And I do feel like I said, Keke said, I know people hate celebrities, and it's true. People be hating. It's not that they're hating celebrities. They're just hating on them more and more. All right. And sometimes I feel bad for them, you know, just a little bit, not too much. Because people just want to be argumentative, right? Like Keke is obviously one of the good ones. She's obviously one of the people on our side in the fight for liberation for all. Keke is obviously one of the good ones. And for y'all to waste a day being like, you don't get it, you knucklehead. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could have, that's why that makes people be very untrusting, right? So why would she talk about these issues again, right? What did T.I. tell old boy just recently we talked about it on the Umi Sushi video, right? He said, I could have made your issue be your issue, right? But bow before the king of Atlanta because I used another photo op opportunity to build this reputation, right? Be appreciative of that, right? She could be that way. She's not. She's young and she hasn't been poor for a while, you know, but she's still a good person and you should be good to people that are good. Save the energy, baby. Y'all go too hard at the wrong people. Y'all go too hard at the wrong people. And I think it's because a lot of people are too lazy to go at the people who are really making your life hard because you know that would be actual work, right? So let's take our aggression out on Keke. Yes, she could have worded it better. Okay? But there's so many people out there that are wishing you ill. Last person you need to be getting hostile with is Keke. It just says it doesn't add up. All right. So, and I also feel like people were hating on Keke. I gotta get out of here soon because I have to be a wife and make dinner, right? Put my apron on, I lower my head. I do this every night. This is what wives do. Okay? And I stand while he finishes. Of course, I bring him his plate, right? His feet are up on some object nearby, right? His single man chair. And I bring him his plate. Oh, it don't matter that I've been out all day doing what I gotta do, and I'm hungry. That don't matter, right? I bring him his plate. Okay. And then I wait for him to eat. And then I eat my food, right? Somebody's gonna edit that and be like, "You see what she said? Because she in an interracial relationship." Okay, no, that wasn't real. But the point is, I feel like that's what people expect Black women to do for their men, right? You see the videos where the woman's like cutting the food up for him and stuff. You know, I mean, I taught my husband how to eat with chopsticks. He's not very good at eating with chopsticks. Oh, thank you, Savvy. Hey, Savvy. Hey. Hello from Paris. Monsieur, bonjour. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? Okay. Anyways, I just ordered my fiance a pizza and set it in the kitchen counter. Thank you, Savvy. Thank you, Savvy. Come get your food. I got a whole life to live. I'm sitting here cutting your food up, standing waiting for you to eat, sitting there with a goofy ass look on my face. You think I'm gonna go to the family barbecue and get it and serve this a plate? Okay, I had to do it a few times. I'll be honest, because people are looking at me and they're like, "What are you gonna do for your husband?" But every time I do it for my husband, he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I have to do this because people expect that because we're husband and wife that I'm like serving you your food before I eat mine." You know, and he'll be like, "Stop." You know. Let me tell you one of my husband's least favorite songs on the planet. "Cater to You" by Destiny's Child. He hates that song. He's like, "What is that?" You know? I can be my right, my strength, my will to you. That's the least I can do. Let me cater to you through the good, the bad, the ups and the downs. I'll still be here for you. Let me cater to you, 'cause you're beautiful. I love the way you are. You're. And you know what they did to Michelle? What did they do to Michelle? What did social media do to Michelle? Is she married today? Y'all made her break up with her man because y'all didn't like what y'all saw on a TV show. Let me tell you something. I didn't like it neither. But I was like, at the same time, like, do you trust your instincts? You chose this man. Who cares how other people feel about him? You know, maybe he comes off a certain way. You know, I tell my husband all the time, if something happened to me, you're done. Because he is very masculine in when it comes to emotions. Okay, he's very detached. He doesn't, you know, feel the way other people feel about a lot of things because he's a guy, right? And he's an analytical guy, right? So he'd be one of those guys that was like sitting around looking guilty as hell. That's why I tell him, don't mess up. Don't mess up, because I can set you up. Gone girl. All right? Gone girl style, baby. That's how you really get him. Gone girl style. Okay? Because he is so detached, and people expect men to, you know, cry when something happens to their wife, but a lot of times they're like, huh? Because they're guys, right? All right, so anyways, I'm feeling Keke. You know, people love her again today. They didn't like her yesterday. They love her again today. But it was definitely the fact that she is a millionaire that rubbed people the wrong way. And also, I also believe, before I conclude on Keke, that people was hating on her still because her boyfriend is a white guy. And people were hating on her. You know, so They couldn't wait for one reason to drag her. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I hope she understands that, because that's just how people are, especially when it comes to Black women, right? Um, all right. Moving on. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to do it, but let's get into it real quick. The election, right? And like, is there going to be a civil war? Right? I don't think so. I think people talk a lot of talk, but when it comes down to it, people they're not ready. Um, Also, I feel like it's not a civil war so much as it's these extreme factions. And so the loudest of these extreme factions on the left, Antifa, and on the right, hate groups, various hate groups. Okay, these people are fighting, and we see that a lot, like in Portland. You can see them literally like fighting with each other and shooting at each other and just very crazy stuff. And so it is what it is. I don't know why people add Black Lives Matter into, that's one of the reasons why I feel like that name needs to be changed. It's like, call it, the Black Lives Matter Association. Just add an A, but don't just call it Black Lives Matter, because that gives people a lot of opportunity to be racist, you know what I'm saying, to everyone, instead of focusing on their dislike of an organization. Okay. So we move into the election. All right. I've told you guys here on this channel, I do not believe in a two-party system. All right. Period. Period. I do not believe in a two-party system. All right. Not only that, all right, but there should have been a Black agenda. There should have been a Black agenda. Period. From both sides. Clearly and obviously and immediately. There should have been another stimulus package. And so what I feel like we're seeing is an overall failure of this government as a whole. I'm happy for everyone that's happy about the outcome. I'm happy for everyone that is happy about that. But my only concern is, are we addressing the issues that caused a man like that to be the president of the United States? Because he was a mirror. In his presidency, he is a mirror for a very loud majority voice, because he won by a majority. So a majority voice is showing you, this is what we look like, right? Now, you can be conservative, you can be Republican, and not be a part of that hate. I absolutely understand that. But I know that it must have been very difficult these past 4 years, because he behaved embarrassingly for himself and for that party. Okay, so happy to see him gone, without a doubt. But wishing that there was someone there who actually cared about the people enough to do immediate, right, repair, because that's what matters, especially now more than ever. So, I know that there were some questions about whether or not, the legitimacy, and it looks like the Republican Party is questioning the legitimacy of some of the last states involved here. So I feel like we haven't seen the end of this, that it's not just cut and dry, and that things could get crazy, in terms of civil war. Like I said, I think people are smarter than that. There's a lot you could do before you just resort to violence, right? So, but yeah. So yeah, it's been very sad to see how obsessed people are with politics and politicians fixing all of the problems. That's not how life works. They're not going to fix all the problems. You're going to have to get up and do something if you want to see results for things that you care about. It's that simple. It's that simple, you know? And a lot of people have said, and I agree, that people felt for the first time ever that they had to care about these issues in politics, and that they're happy to not have to do all of that work anymore. And that's why they, didn't set a standard for bringing in a leader that could really, bring the progressiveness that we need on these issues. I also feel like, when it comes to the election, it's like people are, they don't know whether they want to like be friends or family, right? They're losing all these connections. And it's like, well, politics are my life, right? I don't get to choose. You don't get to choose on the issues. You get to choose on the politics, right? If I'm mad at somebody, it's not going to be constantly talking about a political party. It's going to be talking about the issues. Okay? So, I think that people are not focused and they have it twisted about what is good enough. If the best thing that you can do for your country is to place a vote into a box and hope that it's seen and hope that it's counted, if that's the best thing you can do for your country and for the people you claim to care about, you know what I'm saying? That's pathetic. You should be doing a lot more organizing and groundwork and working with the people. You know what I'm saying? And so, I'm not here for the hypocrisy. There's a lot of hypocrisy involved in this. There's a lot of self-righteous sanctimoniousness involved in this. And, I'm like, are they gonna shut down ACB, Amy Coney Barrett, right? Are they gonna address her coming into the Supreme Court? Are they gonna do everything they can to undo that? I see some people running for Congress and Senate, and they're like, we have to win the this or the that, we can't do it without doing that. What you mean you can't? Ain't you a politician? What you mean you can't do it unless I help you flip the Senate? What does this look like? House of Cards? I'm not Kevin Spacey. What are you talking about? I can't help y'all unless you help me flip the Senate. What? That's your job to help me. So I don't like the way that's set up. Okay. Also, it's like, why are these politicians always asking for such large amounts of donation money when we live in a digital age? We live in a digital age. What are you paying for? What is so expensive? And I feel like they're paying to have a luxurious lifestyle on the road. And I'm not here for it, Wrapping it up on this topic, I'll just say it makes me sad to say, but what I think a lot of people don't understand is I've met a lot of people that people say, there's a lot of young people that'll have opinions about things, but it's like I've met a lot of people that you're waiting to meet. They don't care. I've met politicians, I've met alleged activists, I've met a lot of people. They don't care. They don't care. Put it that way. Sorry. They don't care. So you better start caring about yourself. Okay? Moving on. I'm going to move on to Martel Holt. But I just want to say also, I think it's a slap before I wrap up the election talk. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I'm not, I'm not invested in politicians. I'm invested in the people. I don't have opinions about politicians because I know that they're, people that are in things for themselves, you know, and they're going to take care of theirs first and foremost. It's the same way that I feel about pastors, you know. Like I said, I lived with a pastor of a church in foster care. So I've met a lot of people that people don't usually meet behind the scenes. And what I've seen is they generally don't care, right? There's a video of Biden, and he's talking about South America, and he's saying like our allegiance needs to be, and this is in 1986, literally, okay, 1986, almost 35 years ago. And he's like, you know, our allegiance should be with the South Africans, not South Africa being run by an oppressive regime, but the actual South Africans. That's where our loyalty needs to lie, right? And I'm like, you know, I just would love to see that type of talk from him about Black Americans. And we would have liked to have seen it when the crime bill was going on, right? And there's just not a lot of accountability for that. People say, oh, we're going to hold him accountable. How's it going? How's it going? Are you holding him accountable? You know what I'm saying? Because that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to actually do it now, you know, and they're going to have to do a lot of things that they said that they're going to do. So let's see if that actually happens, or if people come to realize that, you know, elite gonna elite. They're always going to do what's in their best interests, you know, so you have to make sure that you have a voice that's actually speaking for you and advocating for you. Okay. But yeah, I don't, you know, I'm not necessarily trying to be diplomatic, but I don't want, you know, people to like get in their feelings about it. I'm not in my feelings about it, but I will say that the political worship, I've never seen anything like it in America until, you know, this stuff happened. And I think that we could have made change a lot sooner without depending on a vote to make that change. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's get to Martel Holt on the Dr. Heavenly show. I might have to bring her up. No, before we get to Martel Holt, I'm gonna do Kevin Samuels. I'm gonna bring him back in.
You're 20-year-old selves, but you're 40. Because at 40, like I said, a lot of Black women can look in the mirror and still see their 20-year-old selves, but you're 40. And you got to start moving like that. So 1 in 4 Black women will get married. That means you don't have the leverage you think you do. And so say you're open to it. No, you got to be worthy of it.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want to be worthy of it, and I'm willing to change.
But you want to be worthy of it for what?
Because I want to grow up. I want to move forward. And I want to be in a relationship.
Why? Why do you want a relationship?
I think it's a better life. I want to be in a partnership, and I want to be taken care of.
Exactly. See what you just said? All hurt. You want another daddy is what you want. You don't want a partnership. You want a sponsor.
Oh.
See, that's why I say you ladies talk, and let me help you, ma'am.
Yeah.
You're not the kind of woman that man sponsors.
Okay.
Because you don't have any relationship skill. If I were to come to you and say, okay, be in a relationship with me.
Oh my God. All right. So what are relationship skills? What are relationship skills? I mean, you know, I'm not going to lie. I've seen a lot of angry Black women in relationships. They didn't want to be in the relationships. And every time you saw them with their man, they have aggression, right? And they're snapping at him, you know, and the guy's, he's being passive aggressive at first, and then it's bark, 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 you know, and I've seen that in Black love relationships and interracial relationships. I've seen it. Whereas I feel like I haven't seen that with, I have seen it also with white woman, black men couples, and I've also seen it with white couples. It happens, you know. I don't think it's specific to black women. But you know, I'm not gonna play the whole video. Okay, but the bottom line is, in this video, do modern women lack relationship skills? And again, I didn't listen to the whole video, but I'm not really sure what that means. And you can be like, you can't talk unless you listen to the whole video. I'm not listening to that whole damn video. I'm not looking for your advice. I'm not looking for your advice. I did pretty good by myself. I did. I really did. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Look down and look up. You look down. You do how you administering tests that you yourself would fail. How you going to administer a test that you yourself would fail? He's like, look down. Look at your left hand. Is there a ring on it? Look down. Look at your left hand. Is there a ring on it? Is there a wedding band on it? And I feel like he bullies black women because he wanted to bully his first two wives and he didn't get away with it. That's why he's always like, how are you going to leave a man just because you don't love him anymore? Precisely. What do you mean? Especially if y'all don't have kids together. What do you mean? You know, a lot of people stay for the kids. If you don't have kids together, then head on out. If you're not happy, you don't stay in that. You do everything you can to make the relationship work, or you leave. You don't stay in that. And that's why you see a lot of times women snapping men, you know, it's because they're unhappy. They don't want to be in that situation. But yeah, so fast forward in this video, he basically says to some caller, all black men want. And she said, I'm trying to be like a submissive woman, right? And he was like, agreeable. We just want you to be agreeable, you know? And he was like, and have your own hair. We just want you to have your own hair. Most people have their own hair. I think that there is something wrong with someone so controlling that he's like, I gotta see the hair on your head growing out of your scalp right now. And bitches is losing their edges. They losing their edges. Gluing these wigs on. Right? To try to make it look like a 28-inch bleach blonde Brazilian is growing out of their head. We just want real hair. Now, and the reason I talk about these black relationships is because that's what he's talking about, right? He likes to generalize and be like, I'm talking to women. But when it's just like rap music, they're talking about women until it gets to being demeaning and degrading. And then they're talking about black women, right? And then they specify, right? Specify. I'm like, really? You didn't specify being like with your nappy head, you know? And your skin color is the same as mine. You got a nappy head. Like, they're like, I'm talking to all women. No, you're not. And to say we just want women that grow with their hair out of their head. I know so many white women that use extensions and full-headed wigs because they have thinning problems, you know, a lot of hair thinning issues. They just want their hair to look longer or fuller. They love to like have that look, right? I just think it's so garbage the way that he's always like, I'm talking about all women. And then when he gets mad and angry, he's like, black women. All right, so I'm gonna wrap it up with him saying that and move along to wrap up this live. Thank you for joining me. Please subscribe and please hit the like button. I really appreciate it. Okay, I'm gonna wrap up this video with the Martel Holt. Okay. No. I mean, I get why she is divorcing him, right? One, this is a man that had a 5-year affair. You know, A 5-year affair. Are you kidding me? You couldn't come to my house on some 5-year affair. Are you kidding me? It would be Mr. and Mrs. Smith up in there every day, baby. Every day. Are you kidding me? 5 years? Okay? He's lying about so much. He's so narcissistic. And he's like, here's my thing. Oh my God, I can't even. He reminds me of a lot of dudes that I know that just don't have women friends, right? And there's a lot of like black, I don't know if you guys noticed, but like black guys love to hang out with each other. They love to hang out with each other, right? They don't really have female friends. I feel like you can see them having female friends as they get older more, right? But usually if they're around women, they're like sleeping with them when they're younger, okay? And he just reminds me of black guys that I know that don't have any black women friends. So like all the women they hang out with are non-black women. And that, of course, I don't believe that that's necessarily the case for him because he is from Birmingham. So I'm sure he hung out with black women. But my point is, I'm sure he didn't do it that much, you know? And so then he gets with a woman and he's like, do this, do that, do that, do that. I'm the man. I don't care, you know? And he's like, oh, well, if the man, please just, ladies, just please your man. Please just please your man. Just, are you kidding me, sir? Please your wife. It's a two-way street. You know what I'm saying? And maybe the D was trash. Maybe the D was trash. Maybe it was routine. You know, this is a very, you know, fit, you know, looking man. They have a lot of kids together. So they obviously at some point, there was a lot of love and passion there. But it can get routine the longer you're together. Maybe it was very routine for her and she wanted something different. And every time that she gets with you, it's, okay, well, we got to do it this way, right? He literally said, like, if I want sex, give me sex. If I want brain, give me brain, right? And I'm like, who, what? You saying this about your wife in front of a whole bunch of people that you don't know because he's mad that she told everybody he cheated on her on the show. Bruh, it was for 5. He said, I could see if I did it for 15 or 20 years. Are you kidding me? This is what I'm talking about, ladies. These dudes think they have your entire life to waste. What do you mean? 15, 20 years? You're going to end up on Snapped, bruh. Nah, you ain't going to get no 15 years to do me like that. You're going to be a Snapped episode. And he did that for 5 years. And she's supposed to go around and pretend that he's a husband who didn't cheat on her for 5 years. See, that's what men want. That's why they leave women. They go from woman to woman to woman. Because they want a woman who's going to be like, you're the best. That's why they always dump their older wife and be like, get a younger girl, right? And she's like, I'm just so happy to have some food and a roof over my head. That's not some abusive, you know, parental figure that they fall in love with this predator. Right? And his mistress is younger. He's sitting up there dancing over the questions and stuff. Answer the question. Is she pregnant right now with your baby? When you have 4 children with your wife, how you going to explain that to your kids? The disrespect. And they said out there, she cheated on me too. Yeah, like once. Absolutely. Absolutely. You have a 5-year affair on me, you're going to get cheated on. Are you kidding me? You're going to get a lot more than cheated. Okay? You're going to win my new boo. It's open sesame. Let me know, guys. Thank you for the likes. Welcome to the room. Thank you so much. Because it's saying my connection is bad. So if you can't see me and or hear me, please let me know and I apologize. I live in a less rural area, you know, so sometimes there's issues. Okay, I mean a less urban area, so sometimes there's issues. Okay, So yeah, it's just like, what entitlement? What entitlement? And guys are like that. They're like, "Yeah, I'm the man." And and there's so many women channels on here. Y'all used to know the channels where they were catering and coddling to the men. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm literally, because I talk about unity all the time. But I believe that Black women have the right to voice their issues. And Black men have the right to voice their issues too. You know? You guys know Black guys have talked about, having an abusive woman in their life. And that's one of the reasons why they date other women, because they don't want to be reminded of the abusive woman, overbearing and or abusive woman in their life. Okay, I understand that, because I saw a lot of them. I grew up in foster care. I had a lot of Black women that were abusive and domineering. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to hide that part of your story. You see what I'm saying? Y'all can be honest about that. And be like, it turned me off having this. I know for me, grew up in foster care, and for Black boys that grow up in foster care, you have these very precious, like, not precious as in the Monique character in Precious, right? The mama Precious. A lot of them are like that. Yeah. And I'm sure people will be like, oh, I find it hard to believe that I lived with women like that. I did. So I get it when you talk about, right? You know what I'm saying? So, like, understand where Black women are coming from, where they're talking about too, right? When they're talking about their experiences. Like I tell y'all all the time here, right? Stop dating every dude just because you feel sorry for him. That's why you play yourself. Because you're not open then for a good man, because you tied down to some dude you felt sorry for. Men don't date women because they feel sorry for them. Ever. It never happens. Right? Same energy. Y'all have the same energy. But the bottom line is, I remember there was a lot of channels, a couple of years back, and they was going hard, about, Black love and only Black men, Black women can only date Black men, can only be with Black men, and any Black woman that isn't, we hate her. Okay. Those type of channels that are now flipped because they got older. There is joy in the room. They got older. And all that idealistic talk went out the window. And now I see another crop of Black women doing the same thing, being like, oh, Black women, if you just loved your man, right? Trying to side with the guys, right? Guys know, hey, I love the guys over here. Love the guys, right? But like I said, y'all can talk about y'all issues and we can talk about our issues, and they're both valid. Okay? And we can't skip over the issues. We can't do that. Okay? So I just find it really funny that now there's this new crop of girls and they're kind of doing the same thing. And I'm like, I promise you, once you get a little bit older, you're not going to be doing that anymore. Because I was over here being unproblematic and dudes still came over being rude to me. Every name in the book, right? Well, not every name, but tried to be offensive to me, right? But unfortunately for them, I have a weird sense of humor. But yeah, I'm just like, there's a girl, I forget her name, but she's all about, like, Black women can only be with Black men, right? I think her name was like Erica J or something like that. Okay, she's a beautiful young Black woman. Anyways, I've seen Black men make videos about her. Be like, what's she saying? Stupid, right? And I'm like, she loves you guys. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, it's never good enough. That's my bottom line is, yeah, there's no way y'all mad at Black women like that. It's something else going on. It's something else going on. Because the ones that hold y'all down, y'all don't like them neither. You know what I'm saying? And yes, Black women have a lot of pain, right? That's, again, go back to saying, stop dating dudes because you feel sorry for them. Stop dating dudes because they bullied you into dating them. Stop dating dudes because they hounded you for a date. Stop. And then you won't finally meet the love of your life and be bitter and not know how to behave in a relationship. Point blank, period. You know, my husband and I were kind of late bloomers, you know. We're each other's first serious relationship, and we've been together for 10 years. Okay, 10 plus years. And I credit a lot of our patience with one another because we didn't have a bunch of stories and memories of previous relationships of being hurt in this way and that way. And you see what I'm saying? Of course, if a woman has been hurt in a relationship, she's going to carry that into the next relationship. So as a woman, okay, as a woman, you need to make sure, all right, this is what they're not telling you. Why they sitting there being like, you need to date when you're young and hurry up and get, no. You need to be selective. Only date benefits you. Everybody else is a sponsor. Oh, shout out to Miss America. Our Miss America is Black. I'm not surprised. Okay. And Miss America has often been Black. Miss America or Miss USA is one of them. Sorry, Kenya. I don't know which. Okay. She's really serious about that too. She's like, it's Miss America or Miss USA. I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, the girl is gorgeous. I'm trying to find her name. Paris Milan posted her. The name of Miss America. Assia Branch. Assia Branch. And yeah, she looks like a Black Barbie. She's gorgeous. And so, like, it would have been foolish for her not to win. So congratulations to Assia Branch. Mississippi. Wow, beautiful. Mississippi does it well, baby. Respect the South. Respect the South. Okay, the Black South. Respect the Black South and our culture as Black people in this country, coming majorly from there, right? Beautiful women, beautiful culture. You know, I'm from the North, all right, but we give all due respect to the South for all of the culture that Black people in the South gave this country, you know, including a lot of Northern culture. It comes from the South, right? So yeah, Assia Branch, she's beautiful. Miss USA for Kenya, huh? Yeah. So, anyways, don't date guys fickly. Okay, don't get emotions attached to a dude who's already shown you it's not gonna work. Okay, get whatever bag. I don't care if you got a 6-pence bag. Okay. Get the bag and be on your way. All right. Never get emotions involved. The fact that Kevin Samuels will sit there and say men expect sex on a date and tell women that's gross. I don't care what you expect, bro. You know what I expect? I would expect every bill of mine paid. If that's what you expect, at the least. All right. Prepaid. All right. People will say, oh, well, you know, it's not, having your virtue doesn't mean anything anymore. It means a great deal. It means a great deal. When you let them know, not just anybody, boo. It's never just anybody. No. You got to put something on the table. Don't talk to me about what you bringing to the table. What you got on the table. What's on the table? Talk about some, I just wish that y'all had your own hair. You know what Black women wish that Black men had? Come on now. Come on now, church. Do you know what Black women wish Black men had? And you want to talk about some natural hair? That's all they're asking for, is that you, not submissive, agreeable, and your own natural hair. Let me tell you something. I go out with my natural hair all the time, okay? And never am I approached more than when I have a wig on. Never. Never. From y'all. Y'all say y'all like natural hair, but there's been times where I've been out with my husband with my natural hair and I've seen black men staring like, what is he? They staring at him like he's the catch. What is he doing with a girl like that? Like, what? Y'all surprised to see a white dude with a black woman with natural hair? That's how much you dislike it? And then you got dudes who's cut their circulation off from these damn wave caps. Okay? Don't got not one brain cell left. Your whole life's been spent with a fucking condom on your head, brushing it. Waves, waves, waves. What is that? I don't want to see not one wave. Don't talk to me about a wig when you got a wave. It don't add up. It don't add up. Nope. And they got all types of treatment for these dudes out here nowadays. All types of tricks. They want to talk about something. I'll throw you in the water and then we'll see. We'll see what you look like with all that makeup and stuff on. I'm going to look like me. I don't wear a lot of makeup, just to be honest. I don't have on, I try to wear the lashes when I can, but, generally I wear eyeshadow, I wear lipstick, and call it a day, But the point is, like, why are you always trying to detract from black women? Why is it always a struggle for black women to be feminine, right? Why is it always, this Olympic, y'all want Olympic, I'm surprised they don't have like a line of wigs called like Olympic HD or HG wigs, right? This is Olympic style. When it blends, and you know more about that than you know about what's going on in your country. Because if you don't, some man's gonna make fun of you that it doesn't look right. What are you looking at? Hey, my grandmama wore very inexpensive wigs. Ain't nobody say nothing to her. Nobody said nothing to her. I'm not gonna fall into that. You know what I'm saying? Like purple, red, blue wigs, spend all your time, money, and energy, If you follow me on Patreon, I'm gonna wrap it up. I have to make dinner for my baby, for my hubby boo. I'm gonna wrap it up. But if you follow me on Patreon, you would know that I did a big chop this year, sort of, just honestly in frustration of everything that was happening. Just feeling like, why do I work so hard to like grow my hair long, right? And it was like at a decent length at that point. Anyways, I cut it to like a bob length, shorter. It's growing back, it's getting fuller, and I love the way it looks now compared to before I cut it. And so even though I was very depressed about cutting it, if you check out my Patreon, you'll see the video about my experience doing that, even though I was traumatized about how I just like went with the scissors and cut at it. I like what I got, and I knew that I was going to like it. And that's why I felt compelled to like cut my hair. And I was like, I don't, I'm not my hair, right? We're not our hair. And I think Black women are shamed a lot about their hair. And, I was proud of Tiffany Haddish when she went bald. And I met a woman at the Harlem Trader Joe's, at the Harlem TJ Maxx. And she was like an Ethiopian woman, and she had cut her hair very short. And she was saying she felt like a little insecure. And I was like, oh my God, it's beautiful. Like, I would love to be able to go out and have my hair that, like, I wanted to do it that short. But at the end of the day, I didn't have like the balls. One, I have a very round face. I don't know if you can tell, but I have my face is like the moon. When the moon hits your eye. I have a very moon-shaped face. So, I just feel like if my hair is like super short, anyways, I don't want my hair to be super short anyways. I like long hair, but I felt like I wanted to do a big chop so that my hair could be healthier. That's what I focus on. I watch a lot of natural hair channels so that I can learn everything that I can about, Ayurvedic treatments and everything about 4C hair, and finding out that I do have 4B mixed in with the 4C, and like I'm learning a lot, and I'm very happy about that. And that, I think that's all that matters, is what you care about and what you're working on, So anyways, wrapping it up, Martel is a dog. He's a dog. Okay. And that mistress of his, I caught a couple of videos of hers, and she looks like a dunce. I'm sorry, but she just looks like an airhead. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, how you sitting up here kiki ha ha, and you've been cheating with this man for 5 years. He has 4 children and a wife. Where's your sense of pride? And they always say, he didn't tell me. You knew. People love to do that to married women, but then they want to be a married woman. Anyways, I'm about to go cook, and then I'm going to continue playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Okay. I might make a gamer channel. I don't know. We'll see. But there's some really awesome games coming out. I'm looking forward to playing and stuff. And so this is really just like really fun for me, because I didn't get to play video games when I was growing up as much as I wanted to, because we were poor and we didn't often have a gaming console. And then when we did, my other siblings would hog the console, and I didn't like losing. And I would unplug the controller and be like, ha ha, right? I'd unplug the controller on my siblings, and they'd be like screaming and crying. I didn't play video games a lot. And so getting into it now, I'm like, wow, this is really interesting. Like the storylines, and, I can tell that how it's fun for people, because I never understood why people like them so much, because I was not good at it. So I've spent a lot of time just like learning how to do basic stuff, because I was playing Mortal Kombat, because I've always loved Mortal Kombat. I can do that because I was a button masher. I'm not gonna lie, I was a button masher. All right, but I've grown. So, all right. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Kevin Samuels definitely caters to Black men, and as I said, there's women channels on here now that are doing that as well, and they're being like, Black women, you're not doing enough for your man. That's why you were 1 in 4 married, and that's why. And I'm like, I think that's garbage. I think that's garbage. I really do feel like expanding your options is one of the quickest ways that you would see more opportunities if you haven't done that. And that doesn't mean that you have to go out of your way. It just means keep it open, right? That anyone you meet, could be the love of your life, right? But yeah, these dudes is mad. These dudes is upset. And I don't know why, because I'm like, these women, the ones that love you, absolutely, I mean, I'm married, so I can't love anyone else. I'm sorry. But the ones that love you, right? They really go hard for you. And these women are on the front lines for you. These women are on the front lines for you. I don't do front lines. But these women are on the front lines for you. And I'm not going to lie, I did it when I was younger, because that's what you do when you're young. I protested, I marched. But I think that my skills can be better used in other areas at this point. And there's too much anarchy out there to be out there as a woman, and children. They're on the front lines for you. What more do you want? I don't know who this Sukiana chick is, but every time I see a picture of her, it is offensive. All right? Who's she doing all that for? One of y'all? On OnlyFans? And she got a bunch of kids? What, she got like 3, 4 kids? She has kids, and her kids are going to see that one day. People are going to mock them and use that for it. Again, I don't know all that she did. I didn't see any of the actual video footage. I've just seen pictures on social media. From what I've seen, just of her face looking traumatized, and people saying that she, did something on OnlyFans. Is that her name? Anyways, that is so sad. You know what I'm saying? They was just doing the what challenge was that where they were sticking stuff in their mouth? There's some challenge, and like every pool party for a rapper, the girls were like sticking something in their mouth. I can't remember what it was, but they were doing that for y'all. They didn't do that for nobody else. They was doing that for y'all. What more do you want? I've never seen anybody else do that kind of stuff. All the twerking videos. And like I said, hurry up and get me to 5,000 because I'm about to put another one out there, baby. I'm about to put another one out there, baby. And it's probably going to be a book of records for the slowest twerk, okay? All right. I'm going to... Cucumber challenge. Disgusting. I saw somebody put a gas pump in... Come on now. Come on now. Who are they doing that for? Other black women? You think I care that she put a gas pump in her mouth? I don't. So who are they doing it for? But that's not good enough. All of the black women you have at your disposal, that's not good enough. They have to be agreeable, have their own hair. Well, with criteria like that, imagine if black women's criteria for black men was like that. I'll be honest, I turned down people a lot when I was younger because I didn't want to date, So guys could be like, oh, well, she turned down. I didn't want to date, period. I didn't turn people down because I was looking for some, specific ethnicity or race to get with, But yeah, it's just crazy. I just feel like the expectation, the standards are so high. For Martel to sit up there and be like, she didn't give me when I wanted, and she didn't do this, and she wasn't performing. That's what he said. He was like, she's not performing. What is this, a trial? And he's like, I'm a breadwinner, and she works too. She works too, babe. And he's like, I take care of my kids. How? The kid running around the living room and you pop your head in and tell him stop? It take more than that to raise a kid, right? You'll see when y'all divorce and you living separately, and then you have them 2-3 nights out of the week. You'll see when you have all 4 of the kids, the baby, by yourself, how hard it is to take care of children by yourself. 4, and you're not going to do everything you can to keep your marriage. And then Kevin Samuels wants to get on talking about y'all be leaving men when y'all not in love anymore. He has 4 children, and he didn't do everything he could to make sure that he is the man in the household for those children. See, I guess y'all don't watch enough Dr. Phil, so you don't know the statistics, the very dangerous statistics. It's one of the reasons why my husband and I both agreed that we will never, ever be with anybody else as long as our kids are underage. We would never separate and marry other people and live with other people, right? Because the likelihood of a child being assaulted and abused goes up dramatically when the male in the house is not the biological father. And I would never have a man in my house with me and my kids that was not the biological father, not in the house. That means if you date some guy, you can never let him sleep over until your kids are 18 and out of the house. But people don't want to do that. So now y'all going to get divorced. You got 4 kids. One is a baby. And then you're going to have God knows who else in the house around your kids. Dudes are predators, and they seek out single mothers to be abusive, to take advantage of a woman looking for some help and relief right? I mean, I'm sure Martel and Melody will be fine. They have a lot of money. They have a lot of connections and resources. But still, I don't understand how you are such a man. He's like, oh, don't just say I look good. Talk about all the money I make and talk about how I take care of my kids and talk about that's the basics, bruh. But that's the basics. Nobody cares. You had 4 children. You're going to have to do something more than just look at them. You wasn't just looking when you made them. Took some effort. Nobody's impressed that you parent your children, bro. What's next? I make a lot of money because you want to make a lot of money. That's why you make a lot of money. So who cares? Next. When I want it, give it to me. What about what she wants? The fact that that's not even a consideration. I know that she's sitting there being like, I don't care. Go ahead. Go to the next. Please go. Please go. She's not going to miss him. Because he's too cocky. He's too arrogant. And Dr. Heavenly did a really good job. I love Dr. Heavenly. She's messy. And I love that. Of course, my favorite doctor is Dr. Jackie, whose isn't. Okay. But yeah, okay. So I'm really going to get going this time. Thank you for being here with me. Please subscribe. I'll be back. I'll see y'all soon. Please look at my videos. Like, thumbs up. Please spread the word. We are going to be giving out $50 to top subscribers when I reach 5,000. So maybe in addition to a twerk video, we're definitely going to be dropping that $50. I already have a subscriber in mind, and there can be more. If I see more people sharing and stuff, I'll put you down on the list of people potentially able to get that. Just want to say thank you to everyone for their support of the channel and helping us get there. YouTube is constantly changing their guidelines about like what you can do and like all this other stuff. So I definitely want to stay on top with the subscribers and keep going up. Support a Black woman, support somebody who is starting off on life from scratch. Ain't nothing wrong with it. We can't all be, coming from wealth and connections. Some of us started from scratch. I'm one of them, and I appreciate your help and I appreciate your support. Thank y'all. And I'll see you soon. Bye.